Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Future Force. Today, we're uncovering one of the most revealing and controversial documents to surface in modern military history, the Army's secret report on the Ukraine war. This is not just another analysis of a distant conflict, it's a deep dive into the very fabric of how wars are fought today, how strategies are adapted in real time, and how decisions made in command rooms thousands of miles away shape events on the ground. The report offers a rare, unfiltered look into a conflict that has transformed the political landscape of Europe and altered the world's approach to security, alliances, and warfare. In this video, we will take you through its layers, the visible exterior, the more hidden interior, the measured performance of both sides, the safety features that protect troops and civilians, the unique aspects that make this report unlike anything before, the real price of the war, and finally, a conclusion that draws from all these elements. From the outside, the war in Ukraine might look like the familiar pattern of armed conflict, armies moving across territories, artillery pounding defensive positions, and fighter jets roaring over the battlefield. Yet the report stresses that this is only the exterior, a carefully shaped presentation that serves both military and political goals. For Ukraine, the exterior is built around an image of defiance and resilience. The report details how the country's public communications are designed to inspire both domestic morale and international support. Video clips of soldiers waving the national flag over recaptured towns, images of civilians volunteering for defense efforts, and live updates on social media of Ukrainian victories are not accidental, they are part of a coordinated strategy to ensure the world sees Ukraine not as a victim, but as a determined nation fighting for survival. Russia, in contrast, constructs its own exterior narrative, one of overwhelming force and inevitable victory. The report describes how Russian state media highlights footage of missile launches, large military parades, and symbolic territorial gains to convey an image of strength. Even setbacks are often reframed as strategic withdrawals or tactical repositioning. The exterior also includes visible physical elements, destroyed infrastructure, displaced civilians, and shifting front lines. According to the report, these images serve a dual purpose. They are the byproduct of combat operations and also tools in the ongoing information war. Civilian suffering is used to pressure governments into negotiating or increasing aid, and military spectacles are used to intimidate adversaries. The exterior battle is not just fought with bullets and bombs, it is waged with cameras, satellites, and smartphones. Drones capture both reconnaissance data and high-impact visuals for propaganda. Civilian journalists on the ground share unfiltered footage that can go viral within minutes, sometimes disrupting military plans. The report notes that the control of the exterior narrative has become almost as important as controlling territory. In an age where information spreads instantly, the side that wins the perception war can secure political, financial, and diplomatic advantages that far outweigh a single battlefield victory. Inside the report, the interior section is concise but significant. It focuses on the machinery of the war, the chain of command, the flow of intelligence, and the interplay between traditional combat operations and newer technological warfare. Ukraine's military leadership is shown to operate in close coordination with Western advisors, integrating NATO intelligence feeds, satellite imagery, and advanced targeting systems into their decision-making. The interior reveals that behind every publicized counteroffensive or defensive stand lies a network of analysts, planners, and field commanders working with both local and foreign data streams. Russia's interior structure, while formidable, is portrayed as more rigid, with centralized decision-making sometimes slowing down field adaptability. There are also insights into logistical challenges, from fuel shortages to maintenance issues, that affect operational tempo. Morale is touched on briefly. Ukrainian forces are largely motivated by the defense of their homeland, while Russian morale is more varied, depending on unit type and mission. This interior view underscores that what we see in public is only a fraction of the intricate machinery keeping the war going. Performance, as evaluated in the report, is a multi-dimensional measure. It is not just about how many kilometers of territory are gained or lost, but about adaptability, sustainability, and resilience under pressure. The Ukrainian military is praised for its ability to rapidly integrate new weapons systems into its arsenal. For example, when advanced Western artillery systems like HIMARS arrived, Ukrainian crews learned to operate them with remarkable speed, using them for precision strikes that disrupted Russian logistics. Their use of small, mobile units capable of fast maneuvers has often allowed them to outflank larger, slower Russian forces. Russia's performance is assessed differently. The report acknowledges Russia's overwhelming firepower and its capacity for large-scale, sustained artillery barrages, which have devastated Ukrainian positions. However, it also notes that this approach consumes vast quantities of ammunition and requires constant resupply, something that has proven increasingly difficult under the weight of international sanctions and Ukrainian interdiction efforts. Russian armored forces, while powerful, have faced difficulties in urban environments where Ukrainian anti-tank teams have inflicted heavy losses. The report points out that performance is also tied to electronic warfare, an area where both sides constantly innovate. GPS jamming, communications interception, and cyber attacks are as decisive in modern combat as tank battles were in past wars. Safety features in this war are a blend of physical protection and tactical adaptation. For Ukraine, the report highlights the transformation of cities into layered defensive networks. Streets are barricaded, buildings reinforced, and civilian infrastructure repurposed for military needs. Anti-drone nets cover strategic locations, camouflage conceals key assets from aerial surveillance, and mobile air defense units are positioned to protect both military and civilian targets. The evacuation of civilians from high-risk zones is coordinated with military operations, and underground facilities, from metro stations to basements, are used as shelters. Field hospitals are set up close enough to the front to save lives, yet far enough to reduce vulnerability to attack. Russia's safety measures are equally complex. The report describes extensive trench systems, minefields, and fortified positions designed to slow or repel Ukrainian advances. Heavy armor is deployed strategically to protect high-value artillery units. Electronic countermeasures are used not only to protect communications but also to shield missile systems from precision targeting. Both sides rely heavily on drones, not just for offense, but for safety, sending them ahead to scout enemy positions and avoid ambushes. Safety in this war, the report concludes, is not a static concept, it is a constantly evolving practice of staying one step ahead of the enemy's targeting capabilities. The unique selling points of this report lie in its breadth and frankness. Unlike most public analyses, it combines classified intelligence with open-source data, giving a fuller picture of the war's dynamics. One unique element is its emphasis on speed of adaptation. The report argues that in modern warfare, the side that can learn and apply new tactics the fastest has a decisive edge. Ukraine's swift adaptation of foreign weaponry and Russia's rapid development of counter-drone tactics are cited as prime examples. Another standout aspect is its acknowledgement of mistakes and miscalculations on both sides. Ukraine's overextension during certain offensives and Russia's underestimation of urban resistance are examined without the usual political spin. The report also delves into the international dimension, how arms supplies, economic sanctions, and foreign volunteers influence the battlefield. It paints modern conflict as a globalized affair where distant actors can have immediate and profound effects. When it comes to price, the report takes a sobering approach. The financial cost is immense, billions of dollars spent on weapons, ammunition, and logistics. But the human cost is far greater. Tens of thousands of soldiers and civilians have been killed or wounded. Millions have been displaced, creating one of the largest refugee crises in recent history. Infrastructure worth decades of investment has been destroyed, power plants, bridges, schools, and hospitals reduced to rubble. For Ukraine, the price also includes the economic toll of a war economy and the social strain of prolonged mobilization. For Russia, the price is compounded by international isolation, loss of foreign markets, and a drain on its military resources. The report makes it clear that the global price is also steep, higher energy costs, disrupted food supplies affecting vulnerable nations, and the diversion of resources from other global priorities. It warns that even if the war ended tomorrow, its economic and political aftershocks would be felt for decades. In conclusion, the Army's secret report on the Ukraine war is more than a military analysis, it is a portrait of modern conflict in all its complexity. It shows that wars today are fought as much in cyberspace and the media as they are in trenches and city streets. It underscores the importance of adaptability, the interplay between technology and tactics, and the inescapable fact that every victory comes with a cost. For those watching from afar, it is a reminder that behind every headline are human lives, strategic gambles, and decisions that will shape the future. The report is both a warning and a guide warning of the devastating consequences of prolonged conflict, and guiding future military planners in understanding the realities of 21st-century warfare.